Okay. Hi, Martine. It's great to see
Hi,
you. We're going to
great
work
to see
today
you too.
on demonstrating Zoom and explain everything.
Sure. All right.
Okay. So the first thing is with Zoom, there's several different things I'm going to work with. First is that I'm just going to show how the software, we both got it on our computers. It also can be installed on your phone or your iPad, but I like using the computer because I use the iPad for the whiteboard. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I'm just going to show, I have an external camera. People can install them, use them themselves, but I do it because in case something goes down or someone needs something else explained. So this is the content. This is just a piece of, from a book. So sometimes it's just easy to show, well, this is what I can do. So I have an external camera here that can do that, and I can write. And so it can be followed along using an external camera. Okay. The next thing is perhaps I could let you try this. This you'll have to see if it'll work. Uh, See if you can do a mirroring from your iPhone.
Okay. A mirror.
And
Now, what is mirroring? How should I do this?
okay, so there's what we're going to do is you go on to share with your Zoom,
Okay.
and at the bottom, yeah, on the Zoom on the bottom there's that green button share, and then
Yeah.
under that it'll be under basic, and it has iPhone, iPad via AirPlay.
Airplane. Okay.
And there may have to be something that gets installed, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I need a plugin is required. Okay,
So
so I need.
it'll automatically install it. It
Yep.
just takes a couple seconds. And now it
Now,
should be
okay.
giving you instructions on
Yep.
how to get your,
Yeah, I've got to connect to my Wi-Fi network. It looks like
okay. Oh, okay.
via
So,
my iPhone, and then choose.
and you can read what it says too, if there's
Sure.
anything.
Yeah. So on my screen, I've got on your iPhone or iPad, connect to a Wi-Fi network, namely my Wi-Fi network at home. And now it's telling me to tap screen mirroring, and it gives me some instructions about how to find it. It says to swipe down from the top right-hand corner of the screen, and I'm looking for the screen mirroring button. There it is, and I'm all set. Now I got my phone. I don't know if you can see it, but
Yes. So this is what's nice. So now you can tap on it, and if there was anything that you needed, like if you had a picture or you had
right, right.
you can just look at it. So that's really nice. You can also do it from your computer, but sometimes there's just something on your phone and you just want to show something.
Right.
Okay,
Gotcha.
so we can
That's
stop sharing with that. And it's also useful on the iPad. Anything, as long as it's an iOS system, we can do that.
right.
Okay, so then the next thing I wanted to do was I'm going to just, we're going to be doing this anyway, but I'm just going to share. This is something you can, if I go back to share that green button on the bottom of Zoom, you
Mhm.
can just share anything that's out. And first you have to have something on the screen. So like
Right.
I'm pulling up my browser, and then when I do share, I'll have my browser there. And this is going to be actually the problem that we will be working on in just a little bit, but we'll explain everything first. So that's, and you can do, again, anything that you want to share, anything that can be seen on your computer, you can share. So it
Right.
makes it really,
Any
really
window,
fun.
whatever.
Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing just for a second, and we're going to go ahead. And now we're going to go away from some of the features from Zoom and go back to now using our iPads and you don't have to use an iPad, any kind of tablet or tablet computer can be used. We're going to use Explain Everything. And again, all of these are free software. The Zoom is free software. Everything is free software. So Martine, I'm going to now share a problem that we're going to do together.
Right.
And so this is one where we have a farmer wants to enclose the largest possible rectangle using the straight river as one boundary and 2,400 feet of fencing.
Yeah.
What are the dimensions of the rectangle of largest possible area? So we know that the length is the 2,400 and we're looking for the largest possible area. Okay.
Right. Yep.
I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing that if you got that information. And we'll go back to the Explain Everything now that we can share the whiteboard together.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and draw a rectangle, and then I'll let you take over.
Great.
Is the rectangle too big? Should I make it a little bit smaller? Yeah.
No, that's fine. I
There
think
we
I
go.
can pinch out too. So that's awesome.
Okay, good.
Okay. All right. So the problem tells us that a farmer wants to use 2,400 feet of fencing, but on one side of the proposed fencing area, there's a river, which we could say is on this side. And so we know that we're not going to need to include that in our calculations. Oops. Or we are going to need to include that in our calculations, right? And so to find the remaining area, we could start by first looking at the formula for the area, which is
Perfect.
area is equal to length times width. And here we know that 2400 is going to be equal to 2 times L times W, or yeah,
Plus W.
plus W, yeah, or width on the side.
Beautiful. Very nice. Okay, good.
One way to solve this would be to substitute our W. Well, substitute W by first rewriting the equation so that W is actually equal to something, which
Perfect.
might be something like 2400 minus 2L.
Great.
And now we can plug this into our original formula, and we're left with area is equal to length times 2400 minus 2L. Oops. 2L.
And in this case, I'm going to make sure that I put parentheses because all of that is being multiplied by that L.
Right. Yep.
And I'm just going to, just for a second, I'm going to see if I can just move this part. Oops. Oh, that's okay. I'll leave it for now. I think that should be okay. Okay.
We can simplify that further. We can get the area to be equal to 2400L minus 2L squared. And now I'm going to need your help for the next step.
Okay, perfect. What I'm going to do is, let me see if I can move everything up just a little bit and get it out of the way. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just bring in a little bit of background material. We know that a quadratic or a parabola has the form of ax squared plus bx plus c, okay? And so this is what we have here. We have that the area is a minus 2L squared plus 2400L, and then the constant is 0, okay? So when I look at that, that tells me from this that the coefficient, the leading coefficient is a minus 2. The second coefficient, b, is positive 2400, and that our third coefficient is just 0. And we'll be using that in a second because we have something that when I actually set this equal to 0, I get a parabola that might look something like this. Actually, before I introduce that, I'm just going to introduce that if a is greater than 0, we had an upwards parabola. And what that means is that it has no maximum, but does have an absolute minimum.
Yep.
When I have a less than 0, that's when we get the situation where we have a max. And that's what we're looking at here, because we have our a is a negative number.
Right.
So that's that part. And the second part then is, if I actually draw a parabola and I find the zeros of the function, so I'll say that those are my two roots, x1 and x2, from the quadratic formula, I have two places where it hits the x-axis, possibly 2. I could have none, 0, or 2. In this case, we're going to say, I'll do the case where we have 2. We would have a minus b over 2a plus or minus b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So that tells me that I have a number plus another number and minus another. That's the plus and minus are standing for. So it means it gives me a number plus that number and minus that number. That just gives me the zeros. But really what I'm interested in is that number that's right in the middle, because that tells me the x value that is for the vertex. So for the x value, then I know that I have a minus b over 2a, okay?
Yeah.
And that's for my x value, the vertex. So this is what we can then do to solve. We just know that my, in this case, it's going to be the L value of the vertex is going to be a minus 2400 all over 2 times the negative 2, right? So actually, go ahead from there. I should have let you go there, but go ahead and you can just kind of pinch in and out if you need to. And
sure. So that looks like a positive 600. We're left
perfect.
with
Yeah.
And now we just simply plug in 600 to our equation.
Right, for
Pinned
W.
out here to make some to make some room.
Perfect, thank you.
And so we are now left with W is equal to rather 2400 is equal to 2.
You could do the W equals, that's
It's
fine.
either or, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I
So
highlighted the wrong one.
so W is equal to 2400 minus 2 times 600, which is just going to leave us with 1200.
Perfect. And then since they're asking for the maximum area, we would just have area equals length times width now, right?
Right. Yeah.
So area max, oops, let's go back. The area max would then be length times width, which is just the 600 times 1200.
Right.
And that gives us our 72 with 4 zeros, 720,000 square feet.
Right, and that's our final.
Perfect. Great. That's nice.
Great.
Okay, good. Yeah. Very nice. Okay. Thank you, Martine. It was great.
Thanks a lot. See you
Yeah,
around.
thank you. Take care. Talk to you soon, okay?
Yeah.